Look at him, quick, before he runs away. Look at him, camera guy. Your oil pan's in California getting dummy thick off street tacos?
Yeah.
Yes.
New flywheel has our
That's pretty sexy looking.
input bearing.
What the cowboy's trying to tell you is them there bolts got to be held by the plate, which requires some extra thinking. Do you understand why I'm as annoying as the reason I am? You do now, don't you?
This is a little scary.
He's kind of scary. KW makes the perfect suspension for every demand. Find them in the description below. Oh, what's up, people? I am here today with Dylan, and this is his last day at the shop that we're together. We're gonna go over your machined pieces for the IndyCar. We're gonna talk about the project, the things that have gone well, the things that have gone badly, and the things that have been hugely frustrating and time-consuming, and the lessons we've learned from them and where we're going from there. Do you got anything to start with?
This is taking a lot longer than anticipated.
That is accurate. Well, let's go show them the first thing that was taking too long and why.
The first thing?
Yeah, oh, the first thing. Here we go. What do you got for disasters? What was our first disaster?
Our first disaster was trusting the British with anything.
Oh, that's a little dangerous. I've got a lot of English fans watching.
Oh, well, I'm sure you guys are fine.
You can't blame them too much. I think they've been totally locked down from all this Corona stuff and they can't even work, and I don't know what's going on with their lives.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, but anyway, they're industrious and smart people. But for a country where it rains all the time, you'd think they'd been better at making their cars not rust. What's up with that?
What does that have to do with our project? The chunk of aluminum of the forging of frustration. That's what I'm going to call it.
The forging of frustration.
That's what I'm going to call it.
So what do we got here? It's a Honda K series, and this is the engine that's going to go into this Reynard Champ/IndyCar because it's lighter and better and easier and smarter and just good all around.
It's not going to try to explode itself.
Well,
due to being under high compression.
Yeah.
Internal stresses.
So anyway, to put it in said car, it needs to be dry sump pan. Now, first of all, this engine is upside down. We're not going to put it right side up. And here is the oil pan that's on it. Dry sump oil pan means that it doesn't store all of its oil in the pan.
Correct.
The oil is stored in a tank and then pumped to and from the pan and
AKA
sucked out of the motor.
The sump is dry.
No, that's the pump. You said sump. You fuddled over your words, cowboy. I do that now and then.
What's the difference between a sump and a pump?
Sump is like a catchy pan type place it goes, and a pump is a thing that makes things go squirt, squirt.
Interesting. At Lowe's, we sell well sumps, and they're pumps.
Don't go buy domestic good verbiage.
Fair enough.
All right, so this is a great video. Anyway,
now I'm getting off topic.
Yes. So we needed to get a sump pan that was aluminum and able to take a certain amount of stress and help mount the motor, because it has to be a partially stressed member to become the chassis of the car, right?
Almost a mostly stressed member. But
yes. And this one is to be that way.
We were told it was used in single-seater
and I'm sure
Formula cars.
Possibly in some capacity. And but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem was it took forever.
They told us it'd be 2 weeks.
Blaine, how long did it actually take?
8.
12.
Oh.
3 months?
Nearly 3 months.
3 months. And then we had to fight him for the last months to get like the hardware and the pump and like little things. Yeah, and by the time we got it, we realized this isn't going to cut the mustard for our thing. Not because it's not a good product, but because it's not. So
not made for what we're doing, because it's cast aluminum that's not going to be strong enough, and it doesn't have the bolt points that we thought it was going to have.
No, it's kind of weird where they are. And then this back area, it's like
it's machined
these
weird.
Feet come here, but it's machined away here for no reason. And so we found enough things about it that we decided. What did we decide after looking at this for a little while?
Well, we decided that we needed to design our own.
Yeah, because it's not going to work on the old dusty trail here in America that cowboys and guys in old leather jackets are used to.
Correct.
Yeah. So then what did we decide to do?
Oh, we decided to start measuring.
Why?
Because we needed to make our own oil pan.
Yeah, better one. It's heftier. It's strong. Now, that was months ago. Where is our oil pan that's heftier and strong?
Last I checked, it was getting finished up last night.
Where?
In California.
Oh, what did you learn about designing those parts and working with machinists and doing things in the real world and getting them done on time and in a place that's pseudo the real world, such as Genius Garage, like a race team?
Well, so first of all, the first thing I ran into, there are no 2 bolts on the bottom of this K-Series oil pan or engine that line up in any sort of make sense
Nope,
way.
just got to put them wherever you want. That's what they do at Honda.
So this took, I spent 2 weeks, 3 weeks just measuring this to make sure everything was perfect.
Yes, and we hope it will be.
Yes.
You had one boo-boo on the other part. Okay, so measuring. No, what did you learn in a larger way, like a bigger picture way? Let's not micro-focus, like a existential sort of way. What do you got?
Take how much time you think or are told that it's going to take to make something and just arbitrarily double it.
Why?
Things come up that you don't realize were a problem during the manufacturing process, and you may also end up over-constraining certain things that make them way more difficult to machine, that your machinist buddy then stresses out over for a week trying to get everything perfect, and then you talk to him about it and you realize everything could have just been drilled out with a drill bit. Not everything, but
That sounds like a communication thing.
yes.
So what you learned a valuable experience in being an engineer, probably for a big company, racing team, etc., is the massive amount of communication and understanding the entire process of what goes to the part from its conceptualization and design, and actually process thinking it through and how it's going to be tooled, manufactured, and then communicating with real people in the real world that have real problems and getting that done on a timely manner. Is that kind of the thing?
Yeah. Basically, take the level of communication that you think is going to be annoying
Yes.
and talk to him about that much more.
Yes. You need to be very annoying.
Because sometimes certain questions aren't asked that should be asked. And you need to make sure that those questions get asked.
I feel like
or
we've
are
just
pre-answered.
connected on a better way now. Like, do you understand why I'm as annoying as the reason I am? You do now, don't you? Are you going to be as annoying as me in the future?
Possibly.
Yes! I succeeded!
I'm going to try not to be, though.
But you have to be! Come on, cowboy, let's show them the parts.
Okay.
All right.
We can look at what we got.
Hot damn. Where you want to start? Show them something old.
what?
Show them
Old?
something old.
Oh, well, I left the old part over there.
What'd you do that for? Oh, hot damn, we got to get the part. Yeah, let's look at that.
Freaking part.
Whew. All right, old parts coming in. You may come over there. I want to see you be on camera. Look at him, quick, before he runs away. Look at him, camera guy. There he is. Yeah, we may as well have fun and be annoying.
Yes.
Yes.
To an extent.
To an extent.
That you take too far most of the time.
I do not. Okay, how many things could have been averted here if I was more annoying this year?
I don't know.
I hate to say what they are because I don't want to make the camera guy feel bad.
Well, I could have just not been here. That would have avoided a lot of problems if you were more annoying.
That's true. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being annoying. Yes. Okay, what do you got there, cowboy?
What appears to be a part for a battleship due to its
I think it's a
thickness.
boat anchor.
Oh, it's prettier than that.
All right, so it's a part for a battleship.
Yes.
Yeah, but what is that part, and why is it okay that it's a part to a battleship right now?
Well, because this is essentially going to be what holds this car together in the middle.
In the middle.
Because the oil pan will bolt to these 4 massive half-inch bolt holes.
Yeah. It's kind of like how the monocoque up there in
And
the
then-
carbon holds itself to the engine.
They slide enough to give you an idea of what's going on.
Dylan,
So-
did you also learn valuable lessons on how tight to make your tolerances in the future?
Yeah, these are a little tight.
A little tight. I don't think it's self-clearancing either. We'll work on that.
We'll
Okay, so anyway, that's an adapter plate from the engine to the transaxle.
Yes. And fun little tidbit, if you come in and look in here,
Tidbit.
you can see how these bolts are flush. And that is because in order to make this work, this adapter plate actually has to be bolted to the engine before it can be bolted to the transaxle, because of these 3 bolts would be very, very difficult to get to with a wrench.
Well, let me
So-
tell you is, what the cowboy's trying to tell you is them there bolts got to be held by the plate, which requires some extra thinking, because you ain't going to be able to get to them once it's bolted to the engine, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So had to get creative with the machining and made little pockets for the hexes to go in, which I'm happy with how those fit.
Very nice. Now, there was one mistake
On this?
with your design. Yeah, heck yeah, there's a mistake. You know what it is.
Oh, this is just slightly It makes it a press fit.
Slightly what? Oh, come on now. One's off a little. It'll be all right. We'll fix it.
Not
now,
off very much. I'm for doing this.
Yeah.
The way I did it with, which I believe we showed in the last video.
Here we go again. What he's going to say, for what I had to go through to do this, with everything being on, I did a really good and impressive job, and I'm happy with myself and my work. Is that what you're going to say?
Correct, but I'll do better.
And then
next
I would
time.
say it didn't fit. And then I'll say, what was it that I told you that if we need to buy any specialized measuring equipment or anything to do this so we can rock solid get this right, that's okay, let's do it. Didn't I say something like that?
You did.
And then what'd you do?
I did it because I personally had the measuring equipment I needed in order to get the measurements that I needed to make this work.
So how we get the one wrong?
It just happened.
This is how we learn, people.
It's
I'm
so
not being
close.
a jerk.
It's so close.
Oh, are you amused by this, Blaine?
Always amused.
It frightens me when he says it that way.
This is a little scary.
He's kind of scary.
He's younger than me.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, what we got here, cowboy? What's that?
So,
What's this thing?
well, if you'd let me hold it,
Okay.
I'll explain.
Yeah.
So this is the old quartermaster flywheel.
I don't even know if you call it a
For-
flywheel. That's like a puck, a button, an adapter.
Well, technically it's a flywheel.
Oh, we'll call it a flywheel.
Technically speaking,
It's a flywheel.
It's just really tiny and doesn't have any ring gears. Or anything. So
Yeah,
this
'cause
is what the old clutch bolted to. Now, due to the extra thickness of this adapter plate, we had to make a deeper flywheel in order to reach the crankshaft of the K-Series engine.
Yes.
And also the K-Series had a much different crank bolt pattern
Yeah.
than
That's the small block Chevy. That's the K-Series pattern.
The Chevy crank flange also protruded from the flat edges of the block much further than the K-Series
That's accurate.
flange, which is almost flush with the back of the block,
Why is that relevant?
because we had to adjust for that distance also to make sure that the flywheel could bolt.
You're missing a key component, cowboy. What exists with this here piece that's new that doesn't exist with that there piece that's old?
Oh yeah,
Blaine's smiling at us now.
he's amused. He already said why he's
Is he amused, or is he just happy he doesn't have to be in this video?
Yes.
Oh,
He's already been in the video though.
wait, I think it was yes to both.
All of us.
So
I'm glad you're amused. It makes me happy.
this
Yes.
new flywheel has our
That's pretty sexy looking.
input bearing,
Yeah.
which
Pilot bearing.
pilot bearing in it.
Now, someone asked me, a very smart person asked me a couple of things with this.
Yes.
One was, why'd you use an oil light bushing instead of a needle bearing? And I gave him an answer. What was your answer? Why did we use that instead of a needle bearing?
Because I spent several hours looking for a needle bearing and could not find one the size we needed.
There's other reasons.
Also,
Sure.
oil light simple. It's due to this transmission being a sequential transmission. The input shaft isn't going to be spinning inside the oil light very often.
Not only when you're, only if you got the clutch in when you're in neutral, and that's
Right.
not going to be very long.
No. So we don't really have that big of a friction problem.
Yeah, we don't really need it. And most importantly,
This was much easier to make.
it's harder to screw up.
Yes.
We like things like that. Okay, so we did that, and also the machining here is very smooth. You guys can see the machine marks, which look like the flywheel in a fine precision watch, but it's super duper smooth, which is important. Like the backside, it's super duper smooth, so that when it's torqued down to the flywheel, it won't loosen up. If the actual machining marks, you can feel them too much, it can loosen up. So actually, Dylan, to make a note, this is the original piece here made by Quartermaster, and if you run your fingernail there and feel the machining marks
Yeah, it's way
on the
rougher.
Quartermaster versus the one that you had made here, you're working at a lot higher precision to machining, I would say. Okay, now what'd you screw up on the flywheel that I found really quick and peed in your cornflakes?
I don't know how I managed to do it. I tried looking, but I measured the dimension, the outer diameter of
I took
this
one look
flange
at it and
wrong.
go, how are we going to put bolts through it? Give me one of them bolts right there. This here's a boat. I am annoying. And
I'm used to it at this point.
love you too, okay? So the bolts hold the entire clutch, why did my brain stop working? The pressure plate of the clutch with all the clutch discs to the little flywheel here. And the key important part is that when they go through, the head of the bolt right here goes right up against the sidewall of it. So you don't have to hold it with a wrench or anything, you just tighten it over here. And the difficulty was, on the back side, we had to have this machine down because this surface came right up to where the hole was and it was physically impossible to put a bolt through it.
Yep.
So why do you think that happened? In your design process.
So the outer diameter of this is 4 inches, 576 thousandths. And after I measured this on the CAD program, and I think I know what I did.
What'd you do?
I put it in as 4 inches and 760 thousandths because that's about how much it was off. I left out a 5. That's what I did.
Okay, well, don't do that at NASA or in accounting.
Ooh, yes. That'd be bad.
Or accounting for NASA! Ooh.
That's some high level.
Blaine said that's government, they're never that accurate, yeah. And we went to the moon with the lowest bidder. Did you know this? Did you know that?
We also go to war with the lowest bidder too.
Yeah. Okay, what else you got there, cowboy? Where's all the other parts we need?
Well,
Yep, well,
the last part, the oil pan, is in California.
what's it doing
Getting
there?
finished up.
Is it getting a tan?
Yeah.
Eating avocados? Creating a new hashtag?
I don't know if well, it's definitely creating a new hashtag.
What hashtag? Hashtag PIA?
Thick boy oil pan.
Wow.
Getting dummy thick off them street tacos.
Yeah. Yep.
Your oil pans in California getting dummy thick off street tacos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it actually started off even thicker, but then it got slimmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Had some surgery done.
All right, so as a note, you guys, so this thing, the adapter plate is a boat anchor battleship. The reason being is we wanted to start with the basic billet, get all the measurements correct or close or fix them or whatever, make something that works. And then from there, we also have an excellent opportunity. There's extra material here where we don't need it because then we'll be able to drill it for different places because this car is going to require some tubular steel trunnions because the engine will be largely stressed, as will the oil pan on the bottom, but we're going to need some other support for the creation of this car. So the reason why nothing has been lightened is because we wanted to basically create the whole piece like you would like an extruded form in CAD, would you call it? You know, like its basic form.
Most basic form to leave us with the most amount of meat possible to work with later on in order to create a final design.
Well said, cowboy. So it's a bit heavy because it hadn't been lightened up yet and we haven't got rid of what we need, but it's going to be really great to do that. So what is the ETA of the oil pan, you think?
I think it got finished up last night.
Did it?
Yes.
Oh, was going to send it today?
I was actually going to talk to you about that.
Oh, God.
I was planning on talking about it with you off camera, but then you brought it up. So.
No, let's bring it on camera. People have to learn. Like, okay, seriously, guys. The reason
That's the logistics of doing something like this. Is it costs a lot to ship material sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when this. What do you say this thing weighs? 30, 40 pounds?
I don't know. There's probably a Yo Mama joke in there somewhere. Not on our mamas. They're very nice people.
Yes.
Well, yours anyway. So, I have a migraine, and my eye is twitching. How are you doing?
Not so bad.
Oh, that's good. Okay. You know what? I need to get a haircut.
Do you?
Yeah.
Me too.
You want to go get haircuts? You afraid you won't look?
You gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Just gotta go get a haircut.
I'm supposed to go look cool at Indianapolis.
Right. Yeah, you got. Oh, right. That is a public test. You can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go do cool things with cool people and.
What level of annoying should I be?
Well, considering they're allowing you to drive their car.
Not annoying to them.
Correct.
What about the competitors?
Proper racing level. I don't know.
You mean shank them?
I don't know. We're getting weird faces from Tennessee.
Wait, do you like that idea or not like that idea? Let's go see Tennessee. How did you like the Corvette?
I love this car, I'll be honest.
Why do you love this car?
IMSA GTO Corvettes, the tube frame Corvettes, were one of my favorite cars for a long time.
Really?
Yes.
This age?
Yep. C4. I like the C3s a lot too.
Yeah. So how much do you like this one now that you got to do stuff with it?
I like it a lot.
What do you think of our fancy new Formula Hootenanny here?
I don't even know what to think about it, to be honest with you. Well, first of all, I've never seen anything like this in person.
What do you think of the Daytona prototype? We didn't really get to work on that. That's going to be a next year thing.
The Daytona prototype is cool. It's a cool... Honestly, I think the Daytona prototype is a perfect bridge in between this car and this car.
I agree.
Because it's got the technology of this car with the... I don't know what word to use, with the styles of that car, of the Corvette.
It's like an evolution of racing design.
The less delicate style of the Corvette with the new technology of the F1 car.
All right, dude. Well, I like the design work. We'll keep it going. I think you did a good job. And it's going to be a good basis for next year for building the engine and whatnot, and I really appreciate it.
It's been fun.
Definitely. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Subscribe, hit the bell, and see you guys next time.
Yep.
Well, there's only one racing suit I've always dreamed of owning, and that's a Hinchman. Since 1925, Hinchman Racing Uniforms has been supplying suits to drivers ranging from Dale Earnhardt, Mario Andretti, and even Steve McQueen in the movie Le Mans. So guys, when it's time to go racing and you guys want to be safe and look amazing, let's go classic American. Get yourself a Hinchman.